Hey Doc, we are up to the 4th trigger of the 14 triggers in my ChiroLaunch Formula. This one, suspend disbelief. You need to act as if your success is absolutely for certain. Instead of holding yourself back, like we all tend to do because you don't have any proof that you can make this jump, I'd like to see if you end up with any evidence proving that you can't. Just make the jump. Act as if your success is guaranteed, and then see which one of those two ideas serves you better. Your current mindset, your current level of thinking is probably flawed with doubt and skepticism. The idea of making this jump in your performance, jumping from your present level to one several levels higher in one bold stroke, it's an alien concept to most. We talked about it a couple triggers ago in the ignore common methods trigger. You haven't been trained to think that way. A lot of my clients come to me with reservations that they can make such an exponential improvement at all, particularly with even less effort, expending less effort than they currently are, and in such a short, abbreviated time frame. I'm sure you've read the same books that I have. Experts generally agree that we use about 10% of our true potential. And if you accept that argument, and even if there were no other resources available to us, coaches, consultants, friends, staff, if you accept that we only use 10% of our potential, well, you could be doing 10 times better just on your own accord. Your skepticism, which you presume is based on rational thinking, some sort of an objective assessment of yourself, I'm here to tell you that's rooted in mental junk. Your doubts are not the product of accurate thinking. They're the product of habitual thinking. Years ago, you accepted these conclusions as if they were correct. You began to live your life as if these ideas about what you're capable of and what you're not capable of were true. And you stopped living boldly like you did as a child. Remember all the breakthroughs you had as a child because you didn't know you couldn't do things? Right now is the time for you to find that faith in yourself, the faith that you had before as a child. If you want to be skeptical of some ideas that truly deserve to be called into question, challenge those thoughts and beliefs that are limiting you. Put those old inhibiting ideas to the test. Simply go for it with everything you've got. For right now, just suspend disbelief. You don't have to be convinced that you can make this jump. You don't have to believe that you're going to be successful. But don't keep on believing those old ideas that you've been carrying around, about your own limitations. If it's going to make it easier for you, just hold off on believing anything at all. Just act like you have complete faith. Merely do what you would do if you knew you were going to succeed. Behave like you have total conviction. Doubt is what's going to do the most damage here. So don't give it any mental space at all. Don't give it any room up in there. Proceed boldly, as if it's completely inconceivable that you'll experience anything other than this successful launch. If you have to doubt anything, doubt your limits. Now, the best conversations about these videos are happening in the comments section on our website, ChiroLaunch.com. So head on over there and leave a comment now. Did you like this video? I really did. And if you did, subscribe to our channel, and I would be so grateful if you shared this video with your friends. Thank you for joining me for this video series on the 14 tips or tricks on creating a ChiroLaunch experience in your own practice and in your own life. Before you go, I just want to take a quick second and explain to you about a service that I offer, kind of my flagship product. As most of you know, I travel around the country pretty frequently. I'm out there meeting with doctors, doing on-site evaluations, picking up new CrossFit t-shirts, enjoying new restaurants, and I really enjoy my travel. And as I'm out there, I do these initial practice evaluations that I call them, where I actually come on site. I meet with you in your office, and I get a lot of questions about what exactly happens when I do these evaluations. So I'll make it quick, but briefly, I just come in, I meet with you, you give me a tour of the office, kind of show me how you practice. I get to see the flow of your practice. I get to see what kind of equipment you use, what kind of equipment you don't use. And then we sit down, we go over basically everything about your practice, your statistics, your billing procedures, your marketing. We talk about your staff. We pretty much go over everything. Typically takes anywhere from 90 to 120 minutes to get all that done. From that point, I take off, usually go back home, and I draw up a little action plan for you. That action plan is step by step, sequentially, what I would do if I were you, if I were in your position over the next 6 to 12 months, depending on the situation. I get called into a lot of specialty situations, so a lot of guys that looking to sell their practice, looking to bring an associate on, looking to add a new service, whether it be massage or physical therapist or even an MD. Transitions is kind of my specialty, so that's why I get called into a lot. So again, depending on the situation, depends on how long the action plan is going to take. So a few days later, I email it over to you. We get on the phone, I walk you right through it, tell you exactly what I would do if I were you. And again, as I'm traveling around, I used to charge $9.95 for these evaluations. People used to call me when I first started consulting, fly me out for $9.95. I do this evaluation. These days, since I travel so much and I've kind of figured out how to travel and do it on the cheap, I do them for much lower prices. So I always have a special promotion going on if I'm going to be in your area. I'm sure there's a link down below, so go ahead and click on that. That's going to take you to a new page explaining to you again what's going on right now in my life, where I'm going to be, what my schedule's like, and how you can take advantage of that opportunity to have me come into your practice and do that evaluation at a very special price. So keep enjoying the videos. I'll talk to you soon.